Hi everyone! Today I'm here at UCI Medical School and I'm super excited because I get to chat with some of the brightest minds in the medical field, our future doctors and PhD. They are not just students, they are the best of the best. Basically, the superheroes in training and the ones who will be saving lives, making groundbreaking discoveries, and redefining healthcare in the years to come. I'm really excited to take you behind the scenes of their journey and what inspired them to pursue the medicines. Let's get started. What year are you currently in?
I'm an MS1 here at UCI.
Okay. So what inspired you to pursue a career in medicine?
So I worked with a lot of patients during my undergraduate studies, and during that time I came across some patients who had a lot of tough times, and even though I wasn't a physician myself, I was able to talk to them and provide them with whatever comfort I could, and I saw that alone went a long way in helping them improve in their condition.
Great. How do you manage stress and keep yourself motivated during tough times?
I think it's important to have a good social structure. So, for example, for me, it's my family and my friends. If, for example, I'm stressed, I'll go hang out with friends outside, or I'll spend time at home with my family. And usually that's good enough for alleviating most of the stress.
What was it like the first time you interacted with a real patient?
So it was fairly daunting, I would say, just because before that we were interacting with standardized patients. So those patients they're actors, so they have a script that they're following. But the first time I met an actual patient, it was there was a lot of uncertainty, where was this work direction, would this conversation go, and what would come out of the meeting with them. So
Okay, great. Do you know which specialty you want to go into it yet, or?
I'm considering 3 specialties right now. So number 1, ENT, number 2, ophthalmology, and number 3,
Great.
interventional radiology.
Great. We need a great doctor. Thank you so much for your
No
time.
problem.
What year are you currently in for your?
I'm on my first year of postdoc, yes.
Uh-huh. So what specific area of neuroscience are you currently researching?
I'm researching on pharmacology, neuroscience, and I'm looking for the effects of THC
Okay.
on the brain.
Can you explain your research project and its potential impact?
We are looking at the impacts of THC across development, specifically on the adolescent development on the brain.
What inspired you to choose this particular topic for your postdoctoral research?
I love to research the impact of substances on the development. For instance, if some substances I don't know, drugs or environmental substances, like we have like pollutants, this kind of things affect the normal development or even atypical development. So THC, which is very common, especially if we are here in California, how they can affect, interfere with normal development. And here we have a big group that researches that. So we are trying to see if there is some kind of causality in this. We know that there are plenty of studies associating adolescent THC with schizophrenia, for instance. Is that there causality there or not? That's the kind of thing we're researching here.
What have been the biggest challenge in your research so far?
Right now, learning all the techniques in the lab. I was not exactly the molecular techniques and so on. So I'm just putting my hands on it. I had my big experiment last week, and I managed to do everything, and that was my biggest issue, and now I solved it. I'm happy.
So how does your research contribute to the understanding of brain function or neurological disease?
We are trying to dig in specific enzymes on the brain, like very, very specific molecular pathways that can lead to a better understanding on how THC can affect brain function. And we are getting there actually, how this can translate to humans. Actually, we are seeing some overlapping between our animal research and human research. We are seeing some similarities, and maybe we can be able to help even humans, maybe some drugs that can help mitigating the effects when humans are use THC during adolescence and they see some substantial effects when they are adults, maybe we can stop or maybe prevent these effects of helping.
What advice would you give to someone interested in pursuing a career in neuroscience?
Study a lot and never give up, like persist a lot, because it's not easy, but
Exactly.
it is worth it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
What are you studying right now?
I am a 5th-year PhD student. I'm getting my PhD in biological chemistry, and I'm studying host pathogen interactions, specifically the white blood cell or neutrophil response to our fungal model, which is Candida albicans.
What are the biggest challenges you face during your research?
I think that my biggest challenge is working with neutrophils itself. I think that they're a very finicky cell type. They die pretty quickly, and they're really sensitive to the way that you prime and activate them. But once you have the conditions in model, my system is good now. So
Do you think AI and machine learning will transform biomedical research?
I think so. I feel like a lot of the experiments I do are very physical, and it would be nice to have more computational models, like to understand like what the cells are doing. But in the future, that'd be nice.
What skills do you think are most critical for success in this field?
I think that curiosity and persistence are the top 2 things I would say to finish your PhD.
Have you picked up any weird habits since starting your PhD?
I think the way I open bottles at home, like I use one hand, I think I'm pretty good at that. Like if I'm opening my skincare.
What kind of advice would you give to someone considering a PhD in biochemistry?
I think that my advice would be in the beginning of your PhD, it's normal not to know everything, but how you go about it is important, like asking questions and being curious, because everyone starts usually like that in the beginning of their project, but if you're curious and persistent, I think that will help you.
Thank you. Good luck to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
My name is Anthony Durkin. I'm technically in the Biomedical Engineering Department. My lab is at the Beckman Laser Institute, and my specialization is in biomedical optics and biophotonics. And I saw that at the University of Texas, there was an emerging program in biomedical engineering. So I applied and I got in. And when I got in, another person had just arrived from MIT. Her name was Rebecca Richards Cordham, and her PhD was in biomedical spectroscopy. And she was she was a rising star.
Great. Interesting.
So she was very charismatic, and everybody who ultimately worked under her wanted to then become a professor later on. So.
Okay. Can you describe your main research project in biophotonics?
So from a technology standpoint, the main emphasis of my lab is to develop a wide field imaging technology that we invented that is in the process of being commercialized. It's called spatial frequency domain imaging. And it can be done in a number of different forms, but the common form is you image using visible and near infrared wavelengths over large, talking many square centimeters of tissue, and you can do spatially resolved maps of things like oxy and deoxyhemoglobin, water fraction, oxygen saturation, total hemoglobin. You can image injectable dyes if you like. You could also do the technology in a fluorescence format if you design the technology properly.
What are the biggest technical challenges you faced during your research?
A lot of the challenges have to do with computation, and it's a good time right now because there's a lot of emphasis on AI and trying to incorporate that into analysis methods, and also the dramatic uptick in GPU and how to use GPU to enhance processing speed. So, but really, we have these very large maps. They require you to do these quite complicated calculations involving propagation of light through tissue, which is a very messy process because you inject light into tissue and photons bounce around and are absorbed periodically by whatever it is that is in the tissue at the right wavelength.
What skills do you believe are most critical for success in this field?
I think in order to find good applications, you have to be able to zoom out. But then in order to do good technical work, you have to be able to zoom in and really take apart the problem at the scale of the problem.
Okay. Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in your research journey?
It seemed so. It seems to take me a long time to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't know that I would change anything.
Okay.
It's sort of because you discover things that you didn't expect to discover along the way.
Thank you so much for your time, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right, huge thanks to all the med students and postdoctors who took the time to chat with me today. Honestly, I'm so impressed by their dedication. I hope this interview gave you a glimpse of what life is really like behind the textbooks and the scrubs. It's not just about memorizing medical terms, it's about passion, sacrifice, and unbreakable commitment to make a difference. Thanks so much for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I'll see you in the next one.